Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are unfortunately there. The Vice President of the United States is telling us the quiet part out loud. This is a post that the Vice President of the United States recently published, and it should really scare, not just concern, most Americans. Under the guise of telling us that the executive needs to do its thing, the Vice President of the United States is really telling us that, in his opinion, the executive has absolutely no constraints in how it exercises its power. The Vice President of the United States is telling us he doesn't believe in the separation of powers. He's telling us that a judge cannot tell a general how to conduct military operations. He's telling us that a judge cannot tell a prosecutor how to exercise their discretionary power. But that clearly is not the case, not from a constitutional perspective and not from a statutory perspective. The only thing that is accurate in this entire post is the use of this word, legitimate. But you see, Mr. Vice President, you don't get to choose what is and isn't legitimate. Your boss doesn't get to choose what is and isn't legitimate. That is the job of the judiciary and of judges across the nation. A judge has the right, the duty, and the authority to tell a general how to conduct a military operation if that general behaves outside of the confines of the constitutional powers. The prosecutor has discretionary powers, but they are limited by constitutional principles, statutory constraints, and ethical rules. Judges aren't just allowed to control the executive's overreach. They're there for that. They have the authority and the duty to control executive overreach. This post is dangerous, not just because it's wrong and inaccurate, but also because it tells us that our vice president, the second in command in our executive branch, is suggesting or even promoting the end of separation of powers. And that is just another piece of the puzzle that falls into place in what is becoming a very, very concerning administration.